All right, well, let's talk about that embarrassing loss to the Packers. First of all, couldn't have been more wrong. Absolutely expected the Lions come out there and dice it up, and instead we had a Thanksgiving flop. Now, I'm not worried. And for any Lions fan who is worried and is starting to freak out, it's because we haven't had any semblance of winning here. And so when we have a devastating, embarrassing loss like that in a winning year in a season, people just want to revert back to same old Lions. Oh my God, we're losing. Everything's out of control. It's a bad game. It was an ugly game with a lot of bad decisions, which we'll get into. But it's a simple in-division game where things get sloppy and the Packers are coming for your throat. And they came and they absolutely diced the Lions up. In-division games are always wild. In-division games are always, man, you're playing guys that you play every year, 2 times a year, and they're just out there to spoil your season at this point. You know, the Packers are obviously they're sniffing it. I've seen people call it, where they're getting close to that wild card. I think they're the first team outside of the wild card situation. And if they keep winning and if they keep looking like they're looking, they're a wild card team. However, in this moment, this is their Super Bowl. This is the moment in which they're like, okay, we got embarrassed week 4 against the Lions, so let's get out there and embarrass them. And that's what they did. I think there were 2 situations in which the Lions lost complete control of this game. First and foremost was that fumble recovery for a touchdown. Just bad luck there in that moment where Goff goes to throw and it's just a hair too early and it's a fumble and their dude scoops and scores, right? And they're able to put up 6. Things didn't bode well for us. I really think the moment Riley Patterson missed that extra point, I was like, today is going to be sloppy. Got to give the Packers credit where credit is due. Their pass rush was incredible. Our O-line could not hold their own. The Packers made their way through our O-line time and time again, applying an insane amount of pressure on Goff, and Goff crumbled underneath it and just couldn't get the ball where it needed to go, and it was looking real sloppy real quick. But you look at that first quarter, and if the Packers don't put up 20 in that first quarter, they only score 9 for the rest of the game. And really 6 of that comes from, or the 7 of it comes from the scoop and score, followed by what sealed the game. When the Lions started coming back and we had a shot at the game, was the fake punt on our own, 25? Inside our own 25? Listen to me. That is a year 1 Dan Campbell move when we have nothing to lose and we're just scrapping. But in this game, in that situation, I could not believe that was the call. I'm like, you can't do that. You can't do that when you're actually that close to coming back and you have a shot at the W. We were close enough that I'm like, well, you just blew it. Because then the Packers are on the 25 and they just zip in for a TD. Wrong call. And that's not even hindsight wrong call. That's just a bad call. It's the wrong call. It's a bad decision. Should never have done that. We were within the realm of I felt fine. We were within the realm of I'm like, the way we're shutting down the Packers now and the way the offense is starting to roll, I feel comfortable. This is a game that we can come back and win. But the moment we fake punt that and then they zip down and score TD, I was like, you just shot yourself in both kneecaps at the same time during a zombie apocalypse. And you're like, F it. I don't need to run. Who needs to walk? Might as well just become a zombie. Can't beat him, join him. So in that situation, those are the 2 moments. It was the fumble, scoop and score, plus that stupid fake punt that really just sort of sealed the game. But defensively, man, we blew it not getting Chase Young. We blew it at the deadline not getting somebody, because you're watching now as the Cowboys, the Niners, and the Eagles are just a different level. They are a different level, and so that is it is frightening for the future in the playoffs. But we'll see. We'll see where everything starts landing as the season. There's still a lot of football left. I think we got 6 games left on the docket. What I'm most worried about is Alex Anzalone. What happened to his wrist or his thumb? Did he break it? If Alex Anzalone is gone, the captain of the defense, at that point, we are in a ton of trouble. I need Alex Anzalone to be okay. I want to get James Houston back from the IR because we desperately need pass rush. Jordan Love, we made him look like an all-star. And If we can't get to the quarterback, they have all the time in the world. The secondary can't do anything, and they're just going to pick us apart, and that is a common theme. We're 8-3. I still think the Lions win this division. My early record prediction was 11-6. We are 8-3. Looking at the spread, looking at what we got coming up, I think the Lions still can land at 11-6, if not better. I do think 11 wins will be our total. That's what I said before the season. It's where I'm sticking now. At that point, you got to win 3 out of the next 6 games. We got the Saints, we got the Bears, and we got the Broncos coming up. All 3 teams poised to do some damage to us, most of them having nothing to play for. Well, the Broncos, they might have something to play for. They have turned it around a little bit. So where this season is going is I still think the Lions are the division winners, but here's the thing. You can't crown them kings of the North just yet. There's still a lot of work to do, and there's a lot that we have to clean up. We are playing sloppy. Last 2 weeks were sloppy. So got to hand it to the Packers for being able to come in here on Thanksgiving Day and wipe us clean in that first quarter, really demoralize the boys. The fellas had some juice left in them to come back, but then with a lot of bad decision making and going for it again and 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 on fourth down, you ain't going to win that way. You ain't going to win that way. So, yeah, all in all, disappointed. Very disappointed in some of the play calling, but I just think that now it's time to bounce back. And we do bounce back after really bad games. That was horrendous. I think this is a time where the Lions bounce back. We take on the Saints, and we got to put that W up. Let's get to 9 wins. So those are my thoughts just from yesterday. And Riley Patterson, let's make the extra point.